Welcome to the Tradition Way Podcast. I'm your host, Brett Shumway. This podcast is brought to you by the Martial Arts Center Network, where you can find all things martial arts related on our social media pages and on our website at www.mainternetwork.com, where you can catch up on all the open circuit sport karate news with Inside Scoop, catch a movie review with fists, kicks, and flicks, or find out what's happening in the jiu-jitsu and MMA worlds on the Winner's Circle, plus all of our sport karate videos from tournaments. And coming this weekend, the main app will be live. Join us at the King of New York tournament, where our main gang director, Travis Plowden, and myself will be in attendance for the official launch. We are super excited to what this app will do in terms of how you watch sport karate content in the future. Additionally, this episode marks my 2-year mark of doing this podcast, and I appreciate all you guys who have supported me with this endeavor. Today on this episode, we're going to cover 2 events, starting with the Junior Pan American Continental Championships that took place August 25th through 31st in Asunción, Paraguay, and the Junior Pan American Games, which took place in August 21st through 23rd in Paraguay as well. Now, this event was not solely a WKF event and only offered Kumite in the U21 categories. Now, I'm not sure why they only highlighted Kumite. In fact, the only forms divisions that was offered at this event wasn't the Taekwondo discipline, which I'm happy to report was both won by American athletes. So let's take a look at the results from each event. Starting in the minus 47 kilogram division, we saw an all-Chilean final where first-timer Sofia Alonso would only surrender 1 point on her way to the top of the podium, winning her first WKF medal by a score of 1-0 in the final. Presley Allen remains perfect in the minus 54 kilogram division as she started slow, winning her first match by Senshu, but then she would not look back as she cruised to the final where she beat her opponent 5-0 to secure her first Pan American title. Another first-time athlete, Erica Ferreira, absolutely dominates the minus 61 kilogram division. Now, surrendering only 1 point, which would be her first match that she ultimately won 9-1. She then walked through the bracket with ease, winning the gold medal in the final matchup by a score of 5-0. Not bad for your first WKF event. And the over 61 kilogram division, Mackenzie Mendoza would have another good event, making it out of her pool to advance to the final, where she would meet Isabella Gutierrez, who would have her best performance within the WKF, giving up only 1 point on her way to her first ever WKF medal, winning the final 2-1. The boys start off with Edmund Zhuo having the best Kumite performance of his young career in the minus 53 kilogram division, where he would make it to the final match where he would ultimately lose to first-timer Abraham Dianda by a score of 7-0. In the minus 57 kilogram division, unranked Jackal Bukaram cruised through the bracket on his way to the final, where the onslaught of his opponent slowed down, but he was still able to secure the victory in the final by Senshu to secure his first WKF medal. Keito Mizukami has a breakout performance of his young career as he cruises to the top of the podium of the minus 63 kilogram division, securing his first WKF medal, winning the final 7-2. In the minus 70 kilogram division, the world number 12, Luis Ruz, did not surrender a single point on his way to the final, where unfortunately he did not score a point in the final either, requiring the Hantai decision to secure his first WKF gold. And in the over 70 kilogram division, it was a first time out for Sylvia Jadisum, who would also require the Hantai to win the division, as the 0-0 ties were prevalent in the Cadet Kumite finals. In the girls' kata division, world number 5, Isabella Sanchez, would make it to the final once again, as a Shida Roof stylist would opt to run Chibana no Kusanku in the final, where her performance would be enough to secure her second straight continental title for kata. She outscored her opponent 22-7 to 21.5 in that match. In the boys' kata division, the number 45 ranked athlete Gerard Fernandez would break through the field and make it into the final match, where he would secure his first ever WKF medal with his performance of Chibana no Kusanku, earning the top marks in the division, beating his opponent 23.0 to 22.3. The young ladies start out with an all-Brazilian final in the minus 48 kilogram division, where Maria Coelho successfully defends her Pan American title, winning the final 4-1 over her countrywoman, with the impressive 22.3 point spread over her opponents within the division. Unranked fighter Stephanie Juarez breaks through in the minus 53 kilogram division, securing her first ever WKF gold medal. After squeaking out of a 1 point victory in the first round, she never looked back, and she made sure her next fight were not close. The next closest fight she had was in the final that she won 5-3. In her first event as a junior, Charlotte Singleton fought her way to the final in the minus 59 kilogram division, where she would be stopped by Scarlett Morales, but also making her junior debut. These two both had great fights through the brackets, but in the end, Morales took home the gold with a 2-0 victory. In the minus 66 kilogram division, Giamora Flores would not just defend her Pan American title, she would make a statement with her win, as she won 3 out of her 5 fights by the 8-point spread, including the final match. Her success at this event continues as she secures her 4th Continental title. Mariana Guerrera steps up into the over 66 kilogram division for the first time, and she did not disappoint. She would secure the Sensu advantage, or she would require the Sensu advantage to make it out of the first round, and she would then cruise to the finals where she had a close match for the gold, but pulled it out with a 2-1 win, remaining perfect at this event as this is her 3rd Continental title. The young men start off with Roman Guyana, winning his first WKF medal in the minus 55 kilogram division as he won all of his matches in his pool by 2 points, en route to the final where he would win by a larger margin as he won that fight 6-2. Not bad for your 3rd WKF event. The minus 61 kilogram division saw Ken Ochoa, who is having more success since stepping up in weight, having an easy ascent to the final where he would secure his 2nd Continental title of his career, and the first as a junior, outscoring his opponents 29-10 on his way to top the podium. The world number 6, Luis Carrao, continues his strong year in the minus 68 kilogram division that started with his first event win in August of last year, outscoring his opponents 28-8 on his way to securing his first Continental title. He won the final 3-1. The minus 76 kilogram division was turned upside down as Kepa Gonzalez, who came in ranked 212th in the division, shocked everyone with his performance at this event. Although he did not blow anyone out of the water as all of his fights were close matches, he did secure his first ever medal at the same time being the first time he's ever seen a quarterfinal. And in the over 76 kilogram division would have a similar outcome as Dardo Sanchez came in ranked 198th in the world, would squeak by every round with no match being won by more than 1 point until he reached the final. He secured his first medal by a score of 4-2. Now, there are times when being a judge is tough. And then there's what happened in the female kata division. Yasmin and Gabrielle Henrique, the Brazilian identical twins that most of you probably have seen on Instagram, competed against each other in the final, with both opting to run Chatnara Sanku. This may be the only time when the red and blue belts were required to tell the athletes apart. But in the end, it was Gabrielle who pulled out the win by 0.7 points. Either outcome, I can only imagine how great of a feeling it has to be to stand on top of the podium with your sibling by your side. Lance Santos finishing off his strong August with his 2nd gold of the month. Coming off his Youth League win, he enters this event in the first chance at a Continental title, and he was prepared. After needing the Hantai to get out of the semifinals, his performance of Anand Dai in the final was enough to secure the victory by 1 full point. In a rematch from last year, USA and Brazil face off in the female team kata division, with the performance of Anand by the Americans and Paiku by the Brazilians. The scores came out tied after they both performed, requiring the Hantai from the judges, and this time it went to USA. The male team kata wasn't as close as the girls, but still was a tough decision for the judges, as Brazil and the Dominican Republic face off in the final. The performance of Unsu was too much for the Brazilians, as the performance of Paiku would fall by 0.3 points. In the minus 50 kilogram division, Tanoko Joycey secures a gold medal after just making it out of the elimination pools, but she turned it up in the final four, winning that round 63 and moving to the final where she won a close fight 2-1. Maria Oihaya comes into the minus 55 kilogram division ranked 22nd in the world and comes out of her elimination pool as a top seed. She basically gets a bye into the final as her opponent was not able to continue into the finals due to injury. She then fights the final to a 5-5 tie where her opponent gets disqualified, giving Maria the gold medal. Ana Herrera starts off her day in the minus 61 kilogram division with a loss. However, it would be the only loss that she would encounter at this event, as she then went on to outscore her opponents 28-12 for the rest of the division, securing the gold medal by a score of 5-1 in the final. In the minus 68 kilogram division, world number 5, Elisa Hernandez, walks through this division and at no time was not in control of her matches, outscoring the field 22-5 on her way to topping the podium. She is clearly in a class of her own at this event. And in the over 68 kilogram division, Jahara Manrique had a great event as the 122nd ranked athlete came into this event only ever winning one medal in her career. She would have only one tough fight at this event, and it was the final where she pulled out a 1-0 victory to take home the gold. The men start out with world number 14, Juan Gallardo, making it to the final of the minus 60 kilogram division. Although he won every fight he had, there were a couple that were concerning if you were rooting for him, as he won all of his matches by 1 or 2 points. So each match was a nail-biter. He won the final 1-0. The world number 6, Evangelos Akte, had a great performance in the minus 67 kilogram division as he outscored the competition 33-12 en route to his second gold of the year, taking this division twice this year in both the Pan American Games and the Continental Championships, ensuring that he's the one to beat within the PKF in the U21 age category. Interesting in how Jesus Castro was selected for these games, as he has only ever done one WKF event in his career where he lost his first match. But all that didn't matter as he walked into the minus 75 kilogram division where he would win every match he had and go on to take the final 3-2 to secure the gold medal. The minus 84 kilogram division was a mystery as an athlete unknown to WKF competition would emerge as the gold medal winner. Andre Fasanko would come out of nowhere to defeat the number 14th ranked fighter by the 8-point spread in the final match. And in the over 84 kilogram division, world number 6, Joaquin Sanchez would stumble out of the blocks, losing his first match in the elimination pool, but he found his footing after that and he secured the lower seed coming into the semifinal. In the final match, he'd be leading 3-2 and his opponent would be disqualified for accumulating more than the allowed penalties, giving him his first gold medal of the year. Once again, I gotta give the coaching staff on the U.S. team their props as they continue to grow the youth team within the U.S. NKF. In Paraguay, the team itself was amazing, collecting a total of 38 medals. But looking into the future, the American team was absolutely dominated the U12 and U14 categories at this event, making appearances in 23 medal matches that brought home 7 golds, 5 silvers, and 7 bronze medals. This type of showing in the non-WKF ranked division gives a lot of hope for the U.S. presence in the future. Ultimately, I still have to say that I'm pretty disappointed in the Pan American Games exclusion of kata this year. Would have loved to see some of our stars like Maddie Kenningway and Matthew Gruisha get a chance to compete in an IOC recognized event. These two will be too old to compete at the Junior Pan American Games the next time it comes around. So without kata, they missed that opportunity to defend their country. And with that, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of The Traditional Way. Join me on the next episode where I will bring you the results from the Series A event from Salzburg. And make sure to join us this weekend, Kingdom New York tournament, for the official launch of the main app. Until then, continue to support the Martial Arts Internet Network by liking and sharing all of our content. Until next time, guys.